You too, man. What's going on? It's LNH back with another vid. And today, man, we got to go over this most recent game Bronny James just had. Man, a lot of people are still being very hypocritical, but I've taken a look at your comments, man, and I think we have to point this fact that it may be time for Bronny James to officially leave Sierra Canyon. But if you do like these type of high school basketball and even college basketball updates, any of the pop basketball going on, man, make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. But let's get right into it. Now, Bronny James, of course, you guys know we've been following him almost all of his games, and this was actually their first home game. Now, Amari Bailey is still not playing, but a couple of other guys have stepped back onto the court, man. And to be honest, I still think Bronny has room for improvement. Now, in this most recent game, he actually scored 10 points, 3 steals, 4 assists, and 1 block, which honestly, those are some pretty solid numbers. But then again, I really just didn't see the same thing that we've been talking about over and over again. And it's really that aggression, that want to just go out there and dominate, put shots up. There were plenty of times where this dude had the ball and he really didn't take shots that personally I thought he could have easily put up there. Now, we definitely did have some nice highlights, but remember, Amari Bailey and some of the other hoopers are still not there, and when they hop on the court, man, I think it's going to be even harder for this dude to score at 10 points a game. And it's really no hate, but I just think, of course, Amari is the top scorer for the team. And when he actually does officially come back on the court, it's going to be tough for Bronny just because he is so talented and he is the scorer of that team, no doubt. Now, to be fair, I think there are a couple sides to this argument, and maybe Bron has something under his sleeve because, again, Bronny really wasn't getting that much playing time. And it does remind me of when Zaire was on the team as well. There were plenty of times where actually D Wade was annoyed at the coach because D Wade wasn't really getting, Zaire Wade was not really getting that type of PT, and that's what made him really go to the prep school, of course in combination with his injury. But I just didn't think Bronny would not be playing. But then again, he is coming off of an injury, which is definitely a huge factor into the reason why he's not really getting as much playing time. Now, there's definitely two sides to this argument really to say if Bronny should stay at Sierra Canyon or not. And the reason why I'm starting to say this is because in this most recent game, again, they won by 56 points. Now, we talk about playing against really tough competition and against the best players in the country, but if you're winning games by 56 points, I really doubt you're playing some of the best teams in the country. On one hand, I'm not saying their team isn't good. They definitely have a stacked squad with a ton of talented players, but on the other hand, if you're beating teams by that much, I really question the level of competition you are playing. Now, what I really want to see is Sierra Canyon go against some teams, you guys know, like the Montverde's IMG Academies, because a lot of people have really been stating that Sierra Canyon is not one of those top teams, but it's more of a school for players that really have a lot of clout and really have big names, but they're not the most talented school out here. And with some of these teams that they're playing, man, it's really tough to understand if it's just their team is so talented or they're really not playing against super good competition. But it's definitely a blurry one at that point. Now, personally, I don't see Bronny leaving just because he's been at this school for such a long time, and it really seems like Bron is a fan. But if it continues not to get playing time even after his injury, I think then it can be a problem. And then again, I think it could be beneficial for this dude to go to a team where he's really the man and just the guy on the squad. It's one thing to be on a team where you have a ton of talent and it's making you better, but then it's another thing when you're really on a team with that talent and you're not getting that much playing time and you're really not able to rise to the occasion and the talent of the squad. In this case, sometimes I do question if Bronny really has that type of go-getter mentality to play with these guys, because he absolutely has the talent, he has the height, he has the athleticism. You saw him in the dunk contest, but then again, does he have the drive and motivation to get it done? That's really what we're talking about. And at this point, man, I think we've seen in these first couple of games the same thing over and over again. Now, I definitely did see some comments where people were questioning and saying that basically this is not enough games to really make this type of conclusion based off of. But I think if we look at his entire high school career in general, these are the same things we've been saying over and over again. Now, on one hand, I think there is a huge difference as well between when he plays at Sierra Canyon and AAU. You guys know in AAU he was doing his thing much more aggressive, whereas here I think it's just part of his role role on the team is not to be the scorer, so he really does a lot more facilitating, and I definitely say he does do his job well. But many people again are questioning, should this dude even be ranked with the type of performances he is having on the court? And personally, I think that's an iffy statement. On one hand, yes, of course, when you're the son of an NBA player, you're just going to have eyes on you. And he definitely shows out sometimes. Even in that dunk contest, man, all eyes were on him. Everyone was hyped for the season. But as soon as the season started, I really just didn't see the type of really game we wanted to, I think, as a whole, from all the people that follow this dude. Now, partially, I wonder if this has anything to do with Bronny not wanting to go out there and try just because he's afraid to fail. Now, some people are even pointing to this because, of course, he has a ton of pressure on him. Everyone is watching all of his moves. Being around 16, 17 years old and being so young, he has had the spotlight really on him since day one. Now, people really looking at you and putting this pressure on you definitely probably makes the game less enjoyable, but it's sometimes like I just see he's not really striving for it. And even some comments were saying things like, this dude Bronny needs to go out there and play like he's broke. And honestly, I think that's just the type of motivation that LeBron had that Bronny does not have. Now, I'm not saying he can't be a great player, but personally, I think the motivation really comes in handy and helps you in these types of situations where, you know, if this is your only way out, you're going to give it 100. And some people don't even think Bronny really wants to play in the NBA or at the next level. And I don't know about all that. Yes, he's part of FaZe and does his gaming thing and Twitch thing, but I don't know if I would go as far to say he doesn't want to be a basketball player, but he's definitely going to have to change some things in his game if he really wants to try to play at the next level. And especially in college is where I think we're going to see this a little bit more. But again, I think it really depends on what he does his senior year when Amari Bailey leaves, how he gels on that team. But again, people always like to say potential with Bronny James, but it's like I continue to mention over and over again, eventually we can't talk about potential and really just have to talk about his game, how he's currently moving, what is he looking like. And right now, personally, I think there needs to be a lot of improvement if we want to see this dude play well in college. And of course, he probably is going to go to college. People were even stating this dude showed some interest in HBCU schools, but again, that's really iffy at this point because he hasn't technically said anything. But again, we have the big schools. You guys know UK, UCLA, Kansas, and I believe there may have been another school, but these are all good schools. But again, you got to be able to play if you're going out there and play like you're broke. And partially, man, I don't see Bronny doing that, but I thought that comment was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Now, personally, I think either after this season or even his AAU season is when we're really going to be able to make that complete decision. Is this dude a bust or not? I think that's what people really want to know. Is he going to live up to the hype and really be that dude that carries bronze genetics and really shows out, or is he going to be a bust? And personally, man, I think it's looking iffy right now. I know he can change things, but it's just a mindset thing at the end of the day. I don't think much changed with this new home game, and I think, again, people just like the clickbait and want to bring this dude in, want to really show Bronny and just try to get views and clout from it, man. But you guys let me know, what do you think about these games? Are you impressed with what he's doing or not? At this point, I don't know if 10 points is really cutting it. Again, and they're beating the team by 56. I don't even think those types of games matter because we want to see him play against comp and see what he can do in those types of big situations. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like the video. I appreciate each and every one of you. And let me know how this mic sounds. I'm testing out a new mic. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Appreciate each and every one of you. Selling H&M out.